Alright guys, today we're going to talk about a very stressful topic, college application. I know many of y'all are trying to avoid this topic right now. I just completed college application and I have a lot of experience. So I wish to share it with you so you don't have to repeat my mistakes. My first advice would be to start early. Please start during the summer before senior year because that's where you're going to get most of your work done in a not so stressed and focused time period, not in the senior year, when it begins, because there are a lot of activities and a lot of schoolwork that you need to focus on, and you do not want to spend more attention than college app than you need to during senior year. Please do not procrastinate. I've seen many people who waited until the last 2 weeks that they start to rush. They start to write all the essays and get through your college app. Please do not do that. There are two categories of people who do these things. The first one is the lazy people. They just don't care. And the other category is those people who are actually very hardworking. Their whole schedule is filled with activities and stuff, but they made a mistake because they need to focus more on college app than their activities, at least during the first semester of their senior year. They thought college app would be easy, but it's much more complicated than you think. You need to show the colleges that you have been working on these activities consistently, and you need to provide vivid descriptions of these activities so college will understand what project have you been working on. If you are rushing through the description of all your activities in your college app, college admission counselors are going to think, these are kind of shaky descriptions. I wonder if he has completed this activity at all. You don't want them to think about that. I know you do completed this activity. You just need to show them in a right way. Second, work smart. You always need a schedule of approach when you encounter a big problem before you start working on it. So my recommended plan for your approach on the college app is to start with personal essay, personal statement, or in Common App, because during this essay they're gonna ask you a lot of questions about yourself, and this is a journey about finding yourself. Who are you? Where are you going in future? And why are you going there? These questions might sound very philosophical and vague, but actually it just comes down to what is your identity? Where are you going? What college are you going to? What major? And why are you interested in these majors? This process helps you to find out a lot about yourself and your passions. How I completed it is I list down all my activities, all the passions that I have, and I write a paragraph for each of them. Don't think this is a waste of time. They're not. You're going to use these paragraphs later in your supplemental essays, and they're way helpful than you think because you can choose the strongest, the most passionate activity that you have and find out a lot more about yourself than you think, basically, during this process. The second one is do the Common App or Coalition App if you're applying to, Texas schools, because there are a lot of information that you need to fill out, man. It took me like 2 weeks to fill out all the information correctly. So you always want to begin early to fill out these questions because you want to spend as much time as possible working on your essays, not filling out these questions. The third one is your Fafsa form. Fafsa, if you don't know, is about family finances, basically. So you need to sit down and have a conversation with your parents about your family's finances. I know it's hard. I know college is very expensive. So that's why you need to ask your parents about your family's financial situation before you start your college application process, because they're going to tell you what college you can apply to and what colleges are too expensive for your family to afford, or you need to like find more scholarships. So always talk to them before you start the process. It's gonna save you a lot of time and hassle. The fourth one is rec letters. You should always begin your rec letters early because you need one counselor a recommendation letter and 2 to 3 teacher recommendation letter. These letters can be completed beforehand, before the season actually starts. What I noticed is all the recommendation letter requests starts piling into that teacher's mailbox during October and November. So this is going to be a rush for the teachers, especially they're spending their free time for your recommendation letters, and you need to fill out their forms early and give them enough time to complete your recommendation letters because really it can have a big impact on your application. And always attach your thank you note because if you have spent their personal time on your application and you want to be thankful of that. Third, figure out your majors before you start applying. I am the one who's very lucky, to figure out what I wanted to do before all these things happened. But there are few people like me. Most of them just don't know what they're going to major in unless they really think hard about it. I know there's always that passion, and you just need to dig deep inside yourself to find out what passions do you have and what do you want to do in future. Having a general direction for your majors can give your essays a good direction, and it can help you to link all the activities together to offer a strong and comprehensive review for the college admission counselors about your personal information, about all your activities that you've done and stuff. And colleges like independent students who have figured things out by themselves, So you definitely want to find out your majors. But what if you can't, I would recommend first to think harder, of course, but then maybe you can find out more about yourself by asking your parents and your friends, ask them for a third perspective. They're going to help you to find out what your passion is. Fourth, please do college research early. I just cannot mention this enough. Again, it's a lot of work doing college research, especially if you're applying to 9 to 12 colleges. By the way, this is the amount of college application amount that I would recommend because, college app is really about quality of your application. It's not about the quantity. It's not a game of chance. If you apply to 100 colleges, you're going to get into one. It's not like that. It's just you need to focus on the individual application and spend as much time as possible on that application because that's going to greatly increase your chance of acceptance. And it's very expensive. It costs about like $100 for every application. So you want to narrow it down to 9 to 12 schools to avoid spending too much time on college application process. And the way I do this, I divide all the 9 to 12 schools to 3 categories, basically. First one is reach. It's the schools that are hard to get into, the Ivy League schools, the competitive schools who have 10 to 20 acceptance rate. These schools are your dream schools, basically, and you will be very happy if you get in. And the second category is the target. Target is their acceptance rate is around 20 to 35%, I think. It's still a competitive school, and it's a good school. You're happy, if you get into target school, no complaints. And your safety school is to make sure that you can go to college, you don't want to apply to all the Ivy League schools without applying to one of the safety schools, because what if all of them reject you, These schools should have a range between 40 to 50 acceptance rate. And so what are some methods to do your college research? According to my experience, the primary way that you can learn about a college is through their website, because they publish a lot of information on their website, and they recommend you to use Google. It's a very useful tool for your college application process. And the second one is social media. You want to follow their Twitter, follow their Instagram, where their students will share a lot about their experience. For example, there's NYU Meet, where all the students from different majors share about their experience and perspective on NYU's, can be very helpful on application. You can learn from friends and alumni, or attend virtual information sessions. It's an hour-long session that you have to register before you attend. It's about all you need to know about this college, and it's a very helpful session that you need to attend for every college that you're applying to. And I would recommend you to take notes, careful notes, on each of these methods, because ultimately all your notes are going to come down to a paragraph or two in your essay about why us, why you're interested in applying to this college. And you need to show the college admission counselors that you know enough about this college and what intrigued you so much to apply this college. This is your dream school. You cannot just be vague about it and say, because it's ranked #1 in the United States. They don't want it. They want specific information about this program, about their school culture, all that. And organized. Of course, you need to keep everything organized since you're applying to 9 to 12 colleges. I built an individual file for each of the colleges I'm applying to, and I try to organize everything so I always have the information ready when I'm writing this essay. I use Google Doc and Gmail and Google Drive. These are the 3 tools that I work on. Fifth, read the prompts. It's very important to read the prompts, man. If you don't know what you're working on, just don't do it right away. You need to read more about the sample essays that you can find online. Hints, like for example, Michigan Ross, they have great hints about how you should approach to this essay prompts, and they have excellent student examples for you to follow. So you need to learn from these examples and really show the college counselors that you have learned what they want you to write about. And you need to edit all your essays. I've seen many people who just, edit it 2 times and that's it. It's not going to work for college. You need to polish it until you don't want to polish it anymore. And that's what I call a masterpiece, at least for your college essays. Because, first draft is shit, man. I'm sorry that I cussed in this video, but, the first draft, when you look back and you've seen this first draft, it's like a huge difference, and you think, how did I even write this stuff, man? So, please edit before you submit your college essays. It will be good for yourself and be good to your college counselors who are down reading hundreds of trash essays, basically. 6, after you finish the applications process, you submit all the stuff, it's very important mentality that you're not nervous. You keep a very calm and confident mentality, because you gotta forget and enjoy the holidays, man, with the Thanksgiving and Christmas. You don't want them to ruin your holidays, and basically that's very important, because it's gonna give you huge stress if you keep thinking about it without much help to your college application process. What you need to do after you submit is focus on your first semester grades and all your activities. You want to continue doing them because college want to have a consistency. And all in all, college app is important. It's a huge milestone in your life. It's let's just celebrate that, how much you find out about yourself. Like for me, I have found out so much about myself, and I have developed a much clearer vision about myself in future. So anyways, it's not a waste of time, even though if you get rejected, it's it's a thing that deserves to be celebrated. Treat yourself well. That's all the advice that I could think of for college apps. I hope they're helpful. You can always leave a comment below if you have more message, and happy to help. Yeah. Thank you.